We are the hosts of the Real Housewives of Velaris podcast. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Blakely. Warning, we have potty mouse, and this podcast is rated R, like the books we read. So we recorded our first Fourth Wing episode yesterday. At this point, you would have already heard it if you're listening to this. How did you feel about it, Kylie?
We are making some adjustments today. You learn so much doing this. Like, you kind of just have to do it to see what you like and what you don't like. And I think we had some opportunities. So today's going to look a little bit different in how we discuss the summaries and the story itself. What do you think?
You just answered that once again as such a corporate girly. We had some opportunities, room for improvement.
I'm so sorry. You know, we fucked up. We had some errors.
Well, I was going to say, like, that's my thing. Like,
I'm a little more PC than you.
What?
Well, as I'm talking about, at least when it comes to like the corporate world, I just can't help it. I was stuck in it for so long.
Well, I also want to address a couple things. There's two things I want to talk about here. It's really important.
I feel like we're in trouble. Like, you want to address this? Like, you're lecturing all of our children.
First off, the embarrassment that all of a sudden my brain just quit fucking working at all. And I'm like, worked? And when I read these books, I knew the dragon's name was Sorrengail right away. In my head, that's what I pronounce. Now, no offense to Kai. Kai is not the best with pronunciation.
I read Sorrengail though. I really did.
I'm proud of you. Like, but that's not usually my thing. My brain stopped working because my husband came home mid-recording, sick.
The husband.
The husband. Mid-recording, and I don't get flustered very often, but I had to move locations. And then we lost our flow a little bit, and then my brain was like, so I'm really not that stupid.
Excuses are the cousins of lies. I was told that once by an employee, so just remember that when you're speaking, Blakely.
The cousins of lies. Also, I have another thing. I said that I didn't think that I would be great at riding a dragon, right? Because of my, right? I'm second guessing myself. I feel like my competitiveness might be able to help me and my athletic ability. Now, I would just have to get over heights. You know, by the end of this, I am going to be like, I would be the best fucking dragon rider. I will hype myself up.
You should really believe in yourself. Somebody has to.
Hey, Nikki, shout out to Nikki, was like, I think you'd be a great dragon rider. We all need hype friends, and you are not my hype friend.
Chapter 6. Okay, so we start in the healer quadrant where Dane has taken Violet after losing his shit. Violet is waiting for the mender, Nolan, who has been healing her for the last 5 years, you know, the small, frail girl. Dane then starts being overbearing and trying to use this injury as a way to get Violet out of the writer's quadrant yet again. Dane loses that battle and Nolan does heal Violet. And like Dane just thinks, you know, I didn't lose my shit as he's like yelling and like freaking out, like her bones were snapped.
And carrying her out of there. Like,
Dane, you did lose your shit.
I also, like, if I was in Violet's shoes, I'd be so fucking confused. Like, where do I stand with you? Do you just like me as a best friend that you keep saying multiple times? But like, that isn't best friend behavior. No. I just don't know.
He friend zoned her like
I would be confused.
the day before, like a day or two before, and then he's like freaking out. Like I'd probably freak out if you got your bones snapped, but like I would laugh at you a little bit too after.
I wouldn't freak out if you got your bone snapped because it's such a regular occurrence for you.
I have never broken a bone. I have only torn ligament.
I've broken this one twice.
Oh, I lied. I broke my toe just recently and it's finally healed, like within the past couple weeks. Okay, so I have broken a bone.
You are a frail little thing. Little thing. Frail.
Like, but back to being frail, like he didn't want her to get healed. Like, also, that's so fucked up, Dane. Like, That means like she wouldn't have to fight, and like that's a way for her to go into the scribe quadrant. And it's like, Dane, fuck right off, kindly, respectfully.
But like, I don't want to be respectful about it. Fuck right off. I don't like him.
No, and I was just so pissed off every time I saw his name, like this round of reading it. Just
I
'cause
know.
you're such a butthole. Like, the mom and me not swearing, even though I was just like, fuck this guy.
I just feel like when I read his name, I'm like, Dane. Like everything, I'm like, ugh, ugh. That's like his sound effect. Ugh.
The true ick was given by Dane.
Truly.
I also love this part in the book because Violet is like talking like she's drunk. Like, I lost it. I'm not going to the Sibes.
She's getting like pissed at herself. So, guys, guys. And then she's like, oh, fuck it.
Met me.
It's relatable.
Very relatable.
There's nothing worse that when you're like drunk and you're like trying to be sober and you're slurring. And you're like,
There's a video of me that exists where it's like black and you hear my drunk self going, are we gonna record? So that's just what I think of when I read I'm not going to decide. Like, just so much for her slurring. I love it. I don't love that she was hurt, just to clarify.
you just love her slurring. Hey, Lou and Dorinda are some of our favorite housewives. It makes sense that we would love this.
That's really valid. Like, here we go, full circle. We're
And
relating
Sonia.
them both.
Sorry, Sonia. I'm sorry for not adding you into the drunk quadrant.
You don't touch, what is it, the Morgan
Give me
papers.
letters. It's letters.
Letters, my bad.
Come on.
Oh, God, I'm not perfect. Close, but not quite. Then we have Violet heading back to the barracks, and she finds something under her pillow. It's a journal with a note from Mira. Mira lets her know that her brother Brennan gave her this journal, and she's passing it on to her, also known as the Book of Brennan, aka like the Bible for Basgiath.
Yes. I want to create a book of Blakely. Just side note. I'm going to do that.
All that would be in it is asshole.
How to be an asshole. Wait, how to be a productive bully.
At least you're a good mom. Like, you get that in there too. But it's a small chapter because being an asshole takes up so much of your space.
I can be a pretty good mom and a decent wife, but being an asshole is really what I excel at. I'm good at so many things. Like being an asshole. So when she comes back, she sees Rhiannon right away. And I love Riri.
I want to be friends with her. Like, she's so great.
She's just so solid. Like, even when we throw it back to like, what was that, chapter 2 or 3, when Dane was like, are you going to keep quiet about this? And she goes, it's nobody's business. And I was like, I like this girl. Like, she's a vault.
Spicy.
Yeah, she's spicy in a vault. It's just, I appreciate her. But when she was like so worried about Violet when she left and she comes back, you're the only friend I have in here. So I'd rather you didn't die when it gets real. A corner of her mouth lifts in a wry smile.
I love this theme through the book about friendship because it's just Mira's like, don't make friends. And here's Violet making literally the best of friends. Like, she meets the best people. Like, we haven't even talked about Riddick. And like,
well, Riddick's an asshole. That's why I love him.
He's a funny asshole. He's like, not Jack Barlow asshole, but a fun, light asshole.
Fuck JB.
Jack Barlow's the worst.
I hate him. But no, I know. The way that Violet gets advice from Mira and then literally walks up the stairs 30 seconds later and instantly becomes friends with Rhea. I'm like, yes, I love this for you.
They're in college, and what a like young person thing to do. Like, just, I'm doing the exact opposite. I say young, like we're so old. Like, I mean, I am 35, but you're older than me.
Like 3 months. Stop it. I'm also wiser than you because of my old age.
Just because you can pronounce words and I can't doesn't make you wiser.
That's all I got going on over here. So Mira gives her the Book of Brennan, and she had to have a scribe sneak it in. And she said, She added her own bits of hard-earned wisdom here and there, but mostly it's his, and I know he'd want you to have it. He'd want you to live, Manon. Sorry, love Mira. And this gives me, I know this is a weird reference because it's not the same, but it is to me,
The amount of references that we're going to make to this book.
is it gives me the same vibes as like the Marauders map because it's like a connection to a loved one that's no longer there, but is like your tool to survive. Like, well, it helps them at the time. I was like, but totally different and better, you know?
Different type of Bible. Like this is, yeah, that is. Not, well, I don't even think that that's a Bible for Harry Potter, but it is a very, very useful tool.
Yeah, and it like kind of helps you break rules, which Brennan does in its own way, or sneak around rules.
Yeah, by writing this book, like that's a risk. And he took a risk by delivering it to Mira too, like, or
Yeah.
giving it to Mira, because imagine if somebody else found that, then, nobody would fail. And then everything that he wrote in that book would be a void because everybody would read it. So, like, he took a huge risk with this. I love you, Brennan.
The Book of Brennan I read along with the first page and then flipped to the second. Mira, you're a Sorrengail, so you will survive. Perhaps not as spectacularly as I have, but we all can't live up to my standards, can we? All kidding aside, this is everything I've learned. Keep it safe. Keep it hidden. Did you think of Gandalf when you first read that? I did.
I I didn't, but I will now. Thanks.
You have to live because Violet is watching. You can't let her see you fail. Brennan.
Like, what a good big brother. Like, rest in peace, Brennan. But God, what a good big brother.
I don't know what it's like to have family members that want to help you.
My sister was such a bitch growing up, so I can't relate. I like her now. Like, Amber, you're cool as hell now. Back then, not so cool.
We do sometimes refer to you as my bitch of a sister, but it's as a joke. We love you.
Chapter 7, specifically for this chapter, it says, in the best interest of preserving peace within Navarre, no more than 3 cadets carrying rebellion relics may be assigned to any squad of any quadrant. Addendum 5.2, Basgiath War College Code of Conduct. In addition to last year's changes, marked ones assembling in groups of 3 or more will now be considered an act of seditious conspiracy and is hereby a capital offense. I think that's important for this chapter because so we start out, Violet's definitely out past curfew again and has been the past 9 nights. She is on the hunt for berries from the Book of Poisons, and she climbs up an oak tree to get these berries. While up there, 2 cloaked figures walk under the protection of the tree. Who's in the cloaks? None other than Xaden and Imogen. Violet tries to eavesdrop but realizes she's too high up, so she starts to climb down and hides in the shadows. More and more riders appear. They all have the rebellion relics, and there are about 2 dozen. Marked ones are not supposed to gather in groups larger than 3, and Violet wants to give them the benefit of the doubt, and so she listens to them to find out Xaden's really looking out for all the marked ones and that he cares. And didn't see that coming. I was blindsided.
And I relate to Violet in this because she's like, damn it, I don't want to find a single thing about Xaden Riorson admirable. And yet here he is being all annoyingly admirable. Asshole. And I get this because when you don't like someone or you're trying to convince yourself you don't like someone, say they do something cool and that begrudgingly like, I mean, that's pretty cool. Good for them is so annoying. Especially me, because I am so strong on my grudges. I tend to them. And when somebody that I have a grudge against does something great, I'm like, God damn it, good for you.
I respect that you admit that. So
I'm not.
that's a big thing to, cheer on people that you don't necessarily like. Like, good for you, Blake. I do respect that.
I feel like I cheer on almost everybody I don't like. Or I can
Yeah.
admit when they do something cool. I'm like, fuck yeah, good for them. Like, stay out of my life. But I love that for you.
I want the best for them, but away from me.
Yeah. And like some people I don't really want the best for. But, for the most I'm joking.
But I get that. So Xaden has been doing this, helping them out for 2 years. And he like stresses to them to, not tell anyone. But he says, and if you tell, all know. And I feel like that has meaning. So Xaden continues the meeting, instructing everyone to learn what is taught to them, despite what they feel are discrepancies, which makes Violet wonder what he means by that. She also realizes what they're doing is wrong, meeting like this, but then she hears, when do we get to kill Violet Sorrengail?
Fucking Imogen. Actually, I'm probably an Imogen.
Like 4 hands shoot up into the air at once,
Yeah.
and one belongs to the spiky-haired blonde first year who's a head taller than most others, Liam. Oh, Liam. He's in second squad, tail section of our wing, but he's already the top cadet in the year. Like, he practically ran across the parapet and destroyed every opponent on the assessment day. I feel like I just love him, and it's really hard not to, like, talk about him.
I mean, people have read the book, but
Yeah.
it's
He's just
still.
so great.
We're
God,
holding space for Liam.
we really are. Like, if
Mhm.
I'm holding space for anybody this at the end of this year, it's Liam. It's Liam.
He's just such a sweet little angel baby.
We don't know anything about him yet.
But I just want to say, he is such a sweet little angel baby. Even if he is blonde, he's so lovable, you know?
Even if he's blonde. Yeah, every character in a book just has to be, like, dark and broody if they're gonna be attractive. Like, no blondes, Tamlin.
Ugh. I actually just in real life am not a blonde person. Blonde girls don't like me at all. And I can only have one token blonde friend at a time.
It's why we're friends right now. I have brown hair this round, and so that's why we're working.
We're really working. Yeah, blondes just don't like me. And blonde men are just not for me, you know?
Tall, dark, and handsome. That's what our books are for. That's what every sexy male main character, tall, dark, and handsome.
That's all I want.
So Imogen is one of the ones that wants to murder Violet,
Mhm.
considering she did snap her arm. She says that her mother's responsible for the execution of my mom and sister. I should have done more than just snap her shoulder. Her mom's responsible for the capture of nearly all our parents. Garrick counters. Garrick mentions that punishing children for the sins of their parents is the Navarrian way, not the Tyrish. But then they also mention, don't forget her brother was Brennan Sorrengail. So what did Brennan do for them to say that? Like, he died, but it was during that battle.
And they killed him. So that was the point of like, don't forget about her brother's Brennan Sorrengail, is what Xaden says. She has every reason to hate us that we have to hate her, was what the quote was. So
I clipped it weird. I'm so sorry.
yeah, thank you for apologizing. It's not accepted, and do better next time. But
I quit.
bravo, 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 but not really. But the foreshadowing is alive and well.
The amount of times we say the foreshadowing, the amount of times I wrote that in my Kindle notes, the foreshadowing. Like, I know that it's foreshadowing, but like, why do I need to keep referencing it?
It's just, it makes me feel better. I'm like, the foreshadow. It makes me feel like I'm clued in on something, you know, like I'm so smart. The foreshadow.
I got this. I understood it.
I also love in this that Xaden's pep talks are just brutally fucking honest. Like, as a productive bully, I fully understand it. Like, this, if they need a fucking pep talk, then we both know they're flying out of the quadrant on graduation day. Let's get real. I can hold their hands and make them a bunch of promises about everyone making it through if that helps them sleep. But in my experience, the truth is far more valuable. I think that's something. We'll get back to that. So if you won't get your shit together and fight to live, then no, you're not going to make it.
But he has to be brutally honest because, like, your initiation to this college is like you walk across this or you die. Like, so you can't expect him to be soft and cuddly.
And when he is a wing leader, so he feels some responsibility in general, on top of his dad was the great betrayer. So he probably feels the personal responsibility of these kids and trying to help them. And it's just like, either like shit or get on the pot, you know, like, or get off the pot, not on the pot. You don't need to shit and then get on the pot.
This is the first time where, like, Xaden gets his daddy title. Because here he is playing daddy to all these students. Sexy Xaden.
He's like having his Steve Harrington moment. Right?
Oh my god, that is the best comparison!
You know,
Truly.
like, I fucking love Steve Harrington. But anyways, I love Xaden, so makes sense. Huh. I should maybe analyze that. And he's tall and kind of a dick. Weird. I was just gonna say, you learn what they teach you, Xaden says to the first year, his voice taking a hard edge. Keep what you know, but recite whatever they tell you. And Violet was like so confused by this because she is so drinking the Kool-Aid and doesn't realize that there's potentially a different truth.
Well, her mom is HBIC Basgiath, so, she has to drink that Kool-Aid. But I feel like this triggered something in her at that moment because, like, why would he say that?
Yeah, like she's like, what? That doesn't even make sense. But he's a smart kid.
Yeah, very smart. Considering she was in the scribe quadrant. So Xaden's quick to tell them the youngest Sorrengail is mine. He dismisses them with Xaden being the last to leave, like they're lingering. Violet waits to descend the tree, but clearly not long enough because a shadow grabs her and her air supply is cut off. Violet is quick to ask if it was her perfume that gave her away. Xaden states that he commands shadows, but it was perfume. Sure. Shadow wielders are rare and highly coveted in battle. He taunts her with asking if Dane warned her not to get caught alone in the dark with him. God, trap me in the dark with you, Xaden.
I know. Please. Please do. Your shadow can choke me all you want.
Is this podcast now rated X?
I didn't say anything bad. Get your head out of the gutter. You sick freak.
Okay, so you want Xaden to just murder you? That's why you want him to choke you?
I didn't say he had to kill me.
So Violet asks him, like, your signet is a shadow wielder? Like, no wonder he's risen so high in rank since they're incredibly incredibly rare and highly coveted in battle. He's, like, able to disorient entire drifts of griffins, if not take them down. Like, it's a pretty big deal. Like, no wonder he is up there despite having a relic and being one of those children.
He's definitely, like, from what we know, the most powerful signet so far.
That we've met, yeah. Besides, like, Melgren and...
Yeah, but definitely as in the school, that seems to be as the kids, or college-age kids, the most powerful one.
These young children.
The kids these days.
Those little hoodlums.
Especially that Xaden Riorson.
What a silly goose.
Such a silly. So are you attracted to bad boys, Kylie? This is an important question. Like, would his voice is like rough velvet along my skin and I shiver.
I am attracted to bad boys in the story, but, like, my husband paints, like, Warhammer figurines. So definitely not in real life, apparently. So sorry for calling him out. He's gonna kill me.
Well, my husband is a rock collector. So.
We just sound like so cool right now.
They're like, no wonder these bitches are obsessed with smutty books. They got fucking dorks for husbands at home.
Ryan's really into anime.
This is not getting better.
Anime and rocks. Like, I think they're embarrassed of us at this point. And they're the nerds.
Right? As we read over 100 books a year. Those fucking nerds.
Those dorks. Okay.
The bad boys.
So I am into them in the books, but not real life. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's the same for you.
Yeah. Like, I like people with an edge to them. You have to have some type of an edge. My husband, I've been with him for now 14 years. Less of an edge, but he's getting old. He's an old man now.
Oh God, 14 years for the both of us.
Yeah, because we do everything at the same.
Okay, so Violet ends up drawing her daggers and throws them at Xaden, which ballsy move because, he's a wing leader. And he encourages her to show that trick to that asshole JB, Jack Barlow. Dane would never, absolutely never encourage that. Ugh, Dane's such a square.
He is a total square. He's so fucking vanilla. He's such a square. And that's where I say he has Tamlin tendencies, but his looks, his vibe does remind me of Kale. It's a weird thing that I haven't quite figured out yet.
A friend of mine described her child as like strong hall monitor energy, and I feel like that's Dane.
Yes, definitely. I mean, yeah. I would never be picked for hall monitor.
No, because you'd be the one in the hall.
Well, yeah, because I wanted to bend the rules. That's what I did in high school. I mean, I was in leadership, freshman class president, ASB, so I could not go to class and bend the rules.
We bend the rules. We don't break them.
No, because the rules are different for me. Is that not how that works?
No. No, sweetie, no.
That's how it works for me. So
we have Xaden saying, like, fascinating. You look all frail. There's that word. And breakable, but you're really a violent little thing, aren't you? We're both just like swooning over just like him like saying like she's violent and we both swoon. It's because that's where violence was born.
well, and it's just like my husband calls me babe. I don't get violence. How a cute nickname like violence?
I guess all I got is babe. I don't get anything like but he would never even call me a bitch, so I guess I'm doing great. He never has in 14 years either, just to clarify.
Yeah, no comment. Anyways.
You've called me a bitch.
Uh-huh. I don't get called.
You're just an asshole.
I do get called a bitch, but I am more asshole energy. It's something I just don't understand that people don't get.
You got to know that going into it with you, and then you just approach you differently.
You're making me sound like a wounded fucking cat.
You got to creep up real slow, like ease your way into it.
Watch out, she might strike.
Feed her a couple treats, and she might like you.
Don't come on too strong.
Coffee treats, naturally.
Cheers. Okay.
So the fact that he encourages her to throw the daggers at Jack Barlow, like, I love Xaden immediately anyway, but like, he's encouraging her to just like fuck Jack shit up. I'm here for it.
I love it because like Dane's like, hey, lie low, act smaller. And Xaden's like, no, take up space. Fuck that little bitch up. I'm here for it.
Because Dane immediately was like, lay low. Like when Rhiannon answered the questions for Violet or like, gave the response, like it was her laying low thanks to Dane, but she knew the answer and then she got called out on it anyway. So Dane gives terrible advice. I just want to say that. Dane gives terrible advice.
Well, Mira also told her to lay low.
Well, she's also a rule follower like Dane, but they're also, she's General Sorrengail's daughter, and like Mira's up there. She's won some battles. She's a big deal. So she just wants her sister to lay low because she's a small, fragile thing.
Right. See, like I bet you Mira didn't lay low. It was more she felt like she could handle herself. And she did, obviously, but she doesn't think that Violet can. So that was her lay low, little sis.
Good for Xaden. He's like really encouraging her, like, stab these people.
Yeah, that's what anyone could want in a partner. Like, just snap, bitch. Do it.
Go nuts.
Go nuts. They deserve it. Let out that crazy.
Okay, so then, Xaden asks if she's going to tell anyone about the meeting, and she answers truthfully with a no, and she knows he was helping them.
He looks at me like he's trying to see through me, and ice prickles my scalp. What's that word you're thinking right now, Kylie?
If this was a drinking game, everyone would be drunk by the word foreshadowing.
We highly encourage you, whatever time you're listening to this, start drinking.
Water. Drink water. Water shots.
I mean, Kylie's been trying to make sure I'm hydrated for like 20 years. And so maybe this is how we do it. You bully people into drinking water. So we're just going to keep saying foreshadowing. So then he tells her if she keeps her word, he owes her a favor. Then tells her to get back to bed before he tells her wing leader. And her yelling back, "You are my wing leader."
I love the small bits of humor like that. Just like, what? You are.
She's like, "You fucker." Like, listen, I'm a sucker for witty banter.
Chapter 8, Violet heads out for breakfast duty accompanied by Dane because she had volunteered for that. He asks her if she's ready for the sparring challenge that day because, surprise, Dane is worried about her. What he doesn't know is Violet knows where to look to see who she's challenging. He tells her he's worried about her, and she says whether it's the threshing, the gauntlet, or Jack Barlow, he immediately tells her to lay low, the opposite of what Xaden said to do. He then cradles her face with his hand and repeats to steer clear of Barlow. Just that, like, there's so much to unpack with that because when I first read this, like, I knew Dane's signet, but I didn't think about how many times he really did touch her. So he cradled her face. So it doesn't say that he's reading her thoughts, but definitely he is.
It makes you raise your eyebrow up of like, what are you doing? Why are you cradling one? I fucking hate when people touch my face. So if someone grabbing my face, unless we're doing other things, like what? Don't touch me. But I also don't like being touched that much. So that may be part of it.
But mixed signals again.
Yeah. Like, no.
Am I your friend or do you want to fuck me? I don't grab my friend's face. I don't cradle my friend's face. None of them.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever done that to me.
I'm pretty positive I have not.
The wounded cat. You never did.
I've never touched your face. I don't even know if I've ever touched your face.
I would really slap you. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, I'll slap you next time so I can at least say that I have touched your face. True love.
No. Okay, so when in this part of it, this is what she said when her inner thoughts about Dane. I was instantly annoyed. Dane, my chest tightens, and I smile as I finish braiding my hair into a crown. Seeing him is the best part of my day, even the moments when he's anything but personable in public, even in the moments where he's consumed with trying to save me with this place. Like the way that she describes him remind me in Sleepless in Seattle when Meg Ryan is explaining Walter and trying to convince herself that she loves him. Oh, Walter, he said the funniest thing the other day. It's like when your girlfriends need to break up with somebody and they don't, they have the worst partner. And then they're like, oh my God, he was so great. Like this guy, Dane, he doesn't believe in me. He gives me mixed signals all the time. But he's the best part of my day. Shut up.
You have to justify why you're with that. If you have to justify that much, then it shouldn't happen.
No. It just annoyed me.
And okay, so going back to him grabbing her face, you've mentioned, do you think he realized then that she was going to poison Oren? I didn't even think about that. Do you think he knew?
I don't know. And I just don't know with his signet, what he's capable of or recent memories, how much he goes back, goes through when he touches her face. If he is allegedly reading her memories at that moment, why would you touch someone's fucking face if you weren't doing that?
Yeah. And I mean, she hasn't had the memory of poisoning him yet. So I wonder if he couldn't read into that.
But her looking for berries and stuff, and maybe just, I don't know, because he would have, when did in the book do we know that he saw Xaden meeting?
Not until obviously way later.
Right. But I'm just wondering, maybe he just saw that. Something to ponder.
Yeah, I'll be thinking about that once we get to that point.
I'm glad I could make you think.
Thanks. It's the first time ever.
Really hard to do. Okay.
So she heads to her next class and they're discussing dragons. There are 100 for the current year with the possibility to change their mind based on presentation in about 2 months. That's 37 fewer than the prior year. And each year it's decreasing. They can't ask dragons because dragons only talk to their bonded riders, just like they only give their bonded riders their full name.
Okay, I have a theory. We need to discuss this. Maybe we don't. Okay. But we have to wonder, why do we think less and less dragons are choosing to bond? And a part of me is thinking like how women now, there's like a big group of us that are choosing not to get married, not us, because we are, become childless cat ladies. So now, do you just think the dragons are in Vale with their little cats reading their little Kindles and they're like, can't be bothered?
Like, I'm not interested in this anymore. Like, people are so boring. I'd rather read the smut.
Like, that's what they're doing in Vale. That's why they're so secretive about it. They're like, no, do not interrupt my reading time.
They go to the presentation like, these fucking losers. No way.
Right? And like, Melgren's dragon is JD Vance, like just so pissed about these childless cat dragons.
General Melgren is the one that's mad. So I guess General Melgren's JD Vance.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Same energy, without getting political. Just,
we don't give. He just made a statement and we're relating them. We don't give a shit about politics. We're here for books. So just so everyone knows, we don't give a fuck.
Just to be clear, I don't. But that's just the vibe.
So then in the class we have
what? Do you not think that's what they're doing? These childless cat dragons?
They have their own little pets up there that like they snuggle with, and they'd rather do face masks than watch these loser writers.
They're like all about self-care and have their little their little snacks.
Just building their cute libraries, tending to their plants.
You're like, can't do that. My TBR is so long.
Can't go out tonight. I got a book to read. Can't make it to presentation. This book's a little more important. It's coming up on the good part.
I went to threshing and I just like scorched a kid because I just was like, you know what? Would rather read.
I was over it, so bye.
Just a thought. So just, you listeners, let me know. Do you think that's what we're doing in Vale?
What do you think the dragons are reading? Obviously they would read some dragon smut. But what do you think that they would read?
Whatever, yeah. They probably like Shrek smut.
It's get in my swamp, get it right. And stay in my swamp. Shout out to GM Fairy. I think we should definitely have an episode for those books.
You're going to do a solo episode? That's so good. I love that for
you. Okay, GM Fairy, if you're listening, I would love to have you on this podcast and I would interview the shit out of you. We're manifesting.
I love you. Just shooting your shot. Just like Shrek does,
Okay, God, stop derailing us. Okay, so then Sorrengail, we have the name this today, is projected by the professor. Xaden's dragon, one of the most powerful and rarest of blues, the same one that stared Violet down on day one. Sorrengail doesn't abide by dragon law, clearly lives by airport law, and bonded with the relative of one of her previous writers, which is typically forbidden. She does what she wants when she wants.
This is the type of energy we need to bring in 2025. We need to be more like Sorrengail. What would Sorrengail do? Okay?
WWSD. Now, it's no longer what would Aelin do. It's what would Sorrengail do. Which is honestly, like, that is the best vibe to bring into 2025 because, like,
a fire-breathing bitch. It's who we are to our core. Dragon, Aelin.
Damn, we've come full circle.
I know. Look at you. We're so smart.
So Professor Kaori says to just not approach one, but they don't need to worry since no blue dagger tails are willing to bond this year. Jack Barlow mentions wanting the black dragon, the only other black dragon besides General Melgren's. He's a Morningstar tail and hasn't been seen in the last 5 years. They are the rarest, smartest, and most cunning. He's one of the deadliest dragons in Navarre, and his previous rider was killed during the uprising and hasn't agreed to bond since. And then they start discussing the previous rider, Nailin.
What else would it be?
I don't know. Jeff or something, just spelled weird. You just never know these days.
He identifies as Jeff, but it goes by Neil.
His signet was siphoning and could absorb power from various sources, other dragons, other rider, and then use it and redistribute it. Jack Barlow, God, I hate this guy, asked what could kill somebody with that kind of signet. And Professor Curie glances and shares he attempted to use that power to revive a fallen rider, which didn't work because there's no signet capable of resurrection, and depleted himself in the process. So, I always want to be like, there's a lot to unpack. Well, the whole book is a lot to unpack.
And that was like in a couple paragraphs. Like there's a lot in there.
This book is not for the weak because there's just so much. Well, actually, like you can read it either way. You can read it without like reading too much into it, or you can like dissect it because there's so much.
Yeah, the first read is like a fun, like you might catch on to some things, right? But then reread, you're like,
holy shit.
I didn't even notice that. So black dragons are the most cunning. There's no such thing as outsmarting a black dragon. This one is a little over 100, which makes him middle-aged. He's revered as a battle dragon among their kind, and if not for him, we probably would have lost during the Tyrish Rebellion. Add to it that he's a Morningstar tail, and he's one of the deadliest dragons in Navarre. So highly coveted.
Yes.
He's the one to watch.
If he shows up, because he hasn't bonded in 5 years.
Yeah, no, he's picky. He's a picky little guy. Not little.
He's just the biggest dragon. He's a picky little guy.
He's a picky little guy. You know?
Okay, so then JB asked the professor, what signet ability would this guy gift his rider? Like, we learn that there's no telling signets are the result of the unique chemistry between rider and dragon, and usually say more about the rider than the dragon. The stronger the bond and more powerful the dragon, the stronger the signet. What do you think? Would you have a good signet, Blake?
Yeah, I'm great at everything. So I would have a really, I'm just kidding. Everyone, I'm kidding.
You'd be a perfect wizard. What wizard?
You're a wizard, Blakely.
Would you have a good signet? What would it be?
I appreciate you asking. Yes. I don't know what it would be, but it would be a good one. Mm-hmm.
Mine would be like the power to clean anything.
Well, okay, Monica. Yes. I feel like it's like more powerful the bond, right? As they say, the stronger. Well, I'm not a surface level person. So I feel like I always go deep. That's what she said. And I only have inner circle people around me. So I feel like me and my dragon would be tight. So as long as I got a great dragon, I can have a pretty powerful one. But if I have a little weakling, I'm okay with a not so good dragon.
How do they make their bond stronger? Do they like watch movies together? Like,
yeah, what kind of bonding do they do? Like post bond, what's the bonding process? You know,
pedicures, hair done, facials. I think that's definitely what they do to bond.
Book clubs.
They bond over TV shows and snuggling.
Yeah.
How would you build your bond with your dragon?
Historically, bullying, sarcastic comment.
You're gonna love me. You'll just make him love you and bully him into it. I love it.
I wear people down eventually, or I don't. What about you? Just cleaning? That's all you think that you bring to the table? We need to work on self-worth in 2025, okay? Cleaning?
I know what I'm good at. I probably wouldn't even bond with the dragon. I'd probably get flamed because they'd be like weak ankles. Like,
well,
that's realistic.
Are you compassionate? I don't know. I was kidding. I knew you were going to get upset about that. Yes,
I'm compassionate. Are you?
I did. This is why people don't like me.
You're like, I'm gonna press your buttons.
And I went.
You knew how to trigger me immediately.
I stopped. I know. And I was literally looking at you like, are you going to do this? So,
I'm annoyed that I took the bait.
how rude. Okay. Important. Really important. Because we are on Signet, or not Signet, Siphon Watch. Okay? Fine. What was his previous writers? Naolin's Signet was siphoning. Professor Kaori's shoulders fall. He could absorb power from various sources, other dragons, other riders, and then use it to redistribute it. Personal theory. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I think Naolin is now one of the bigwig Venons.
Now why?
Well, the siphoning. Who else siphoned?
Okay.
Venon. I think he obviously tried too hard, burned himself out, and he crossed over to Venom world.
Interesting. So like he's not even really dead. He's
Venom.
Okay, I could get behind that.
We'll see. We really don't know at all.
Yeah, literally no clue. There's no spoilers in this. It's
No.
solely a theory.
It's just me shooting the shit. She's totally wrong. But that's what I'm thinking. Why did she use? I mean, the fact that he already siphoned, that was what his signet was. Wouldn't that? It just makes me feel like it's a possibility.
I mean, it's definitely possible. There's only 2 books so far, and there's going to be 5 in the series. Like he could come back and be like, mass murder her,
Mass murder her,
mass murderer.
murderer. I don't know. There's certain things like how Taryn, when he does eventually bond with her, was like, I know what you are, Violet. I feel like he might have some more insight into Venom, maybe because his last rider turned into one. And, I have my theory about Violet.
Okay, so kind of building on that, the bell rings. Violet asks, it was Brennan, wasn't it? And Professor Kaori confirms that. So I wonder if when Neolin was siphoning, like somehow like the dragon like saw into Brennan's like bloodline and saw something in Violet. Like there's some connection there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, so everybody who is at this point has finished the whole book, right?
We hope.
If you haven't, stop. Right.
Because we're ruining it for you.
Because, okay, he tried to resurrect Brennan. Brennan's not dead. We know that. So
You just spoiled it.
So, like, he didn't burn out trying to resurrect him if Brennan's already alive, still alive.
What if like that's not even what happened and we learn that like it was totally different?
Well, just like how Xaden was like, listen to what they tell you, recite what they tell you, but whatever you know, like to the resurrection kids. I don't know. Something to think about.
Just calling them the Resurrection Kids, like that's their gang name.
I like it though. I'll come up with a better name. Hold on. Wait till the whole episode.
So then, we have Professor Kaori saying, I taught both your siblings. A signet like mine is too useful here in this classroom to let me deploy with a wing for too long. Brennan was a spectacular writer and a good man. Mira is shrewd and gifted in the seat when it comes to writing, but you're smarter than the both of them. And from what I have seen, you helping your friends in the commons every night studying, it seems you might be more compassionate too. Don't forget that. But Violet says, thank you, but being smart and compassionate isn't going to help me when it comes to threshing. You know more about dragons than anyone else in the quadrant, probably anyone else in the continent. They choose strength and shrewdness. They choose for reasons they don't see fit to share with us, he said, or Professor Nealon says. And not all strength is physical, Violet. I feel like she's a manifesting girly and was manifesting that being smart and compassionate will get her a dragon.
Like the best one.
Yeah.
Because go big or go home.
If she's going to risk her life, like, I hope she gets the biggest, baddest dragon. Like,
why do you think, in your opinion, why would a dragon value compassion? What's your thoughts?
Because it's just a different strength. And that just, it's like when people enjoy different things. And that dragon just happens to enjoy compassion a little bit more than the rest.
Well, I think compassion shows you're probably more likely to be loyal too, which is very important to dragons.
Right. Very.
I mean, we just see Violet over and over again being compassionate. Like they said, helping the classmates as well as like the shoes right away. Like she didn't need to do that. She does it instantly.
It's a good lesson too. Like, compassion does great things for you. Like, you don't have to be like super strong and buff. Like, you can be smart and compassionate too and do big, great things.
Right. So take what you will from that, people. Bring this to 2025 energy, okay?
Be compassionate
And kind.
and you'll get a big dragon.
But also do what you want, like Sorrengail would tell you to do.
WWSD. So then after that class, it's time for sparring, and Violet's nervous as hell. It doesn't help that Dane says Oren is going to try and kill her. Oren is looking a little green, so Violet's feeling confident. And then you have JB again antagonizing Violet with, I honestly hope you win today's challenge. It would be a shame for someone else to kill you before I get the chance, but I wouldn't be surprised. Violets are such delicate, fragile things. Violet then chooses to throw her daggers at him, nearly nicking his ear and 1 inch below his balls. Dan gets upset because he is a square and is pissed. Like, he told her to lay low, and she took Xaden's advice. Like, go Violet for just showing her violence.
Right. And she says, laying low wasn't getting me anywhere. I need to prove that I'm not a fucking liability, like JB the asshole says.
Like, God, he makes me so mad. Like, he's a fictional character, and I'm just like pissed.
He's the worst. And Dane's also so fucking annoying.
He might be one of my like top, we'll go with top 5 villains that I hate.
JB?
Just in all these books, like, he might be one of the people that I hate the most just because he's such a prick.
JB is a really good villain name.
So the prickle on Violet's scalp begins, and she knows Xaden's nearby. So, like, they have this connection that started from the moment they met. She gets called for her fight against Oren, and he's not doing so hot thanks to Violet poisoning him. She ends up getting a knee into his back, but he vomits all over. And then the professor yields for him. And then Violet continues poisoning her opponents and winning until she doesn't time one of her poisonings quite right. And she thinks she's in the clear for the day when who volunteers to spar with her? By the prickle on her scalp, she knows immediately it's Xaden.
Ugh.
He can wrestle me on the mat. He really can take me down. Know that Dane was having such a well, he was having such a meltdown, like, which we get into in the next chapter.
We do, but
That's literally how it is.
how would you feel when all of a sudden, one, that feeling of like, oh, fuck, like I've worked so hard, it's been working so well for me, and then all of a sudden it stops working, the poison, she mistimes it, and then the strongest, best fighter that you have so much fucking sexual tension with is like, I'll do it.
The amount of panic, I'd probably shit my pants, honestly. Like,
Water
we talked
repel.
about peeing our pants. That would be a moment that I would. Without pancreatitis, I would straight up pee my pants.
Yeah, you probably would.
Once again, wouldn't even be able to bond with the dragon because I'm weak, but yeah, definitely would pee my pants on the mat.
No one's gonna want to wrestle you or get on the mat because you're just peeing all over.
I'm not trying to wrestle anyone. I'm not starting a WWE career.
Maybe you should.
Blurb at the beginning of chapter 9 is so great. Like, I will not die today. Violet Sorrengail's personal addendum to the Book of Brennan, because that is a really good rule to live by.
Yeah.
It's a good addition to the book. So Xaden is one of the best fighters, and now Violet has to fight him. Dean, of course, is mother henning and saying Xaden is out of her league. Xaden removes every weapon from his body, while Violet keeps hers. Violet feels bitter, illogical taste of jealousy fills my mouth.
When he gives her all of his weapons to Imogen, all of a sudden she feels this jealousy. So I like that she knows that she's attracted to him, but she doesn't like say it, but like it's just so obvious.
Her body is betraying her brain.
Yes, it is.
So she throws her first dagger and he catches it. He keeps tossing everything aside that she throws at him. But in a turn of events, he gives her advice to not trust anyone who she faces on the mat. He evades all of her moves and ends up getting her into submission and leans in to say, taking out your enemy before the battle is really smart. I'll give that to you. Immediately, she's like, shit, he knows that I'm poisoning my opponent. And then he says, going for blood today, are we? Violence? Whenever I see it, violence, like I read it in like the most sultry tone in my mind.
I know. It's velvet as Violet.
It is.
I get it, girl, because that's how we read it.
It's like the most seductive thing I read in the book.
And now I'm like thinking in my head, like the way that I really like deep voices, like most people, I would say. But now I'm thinking, like, what if he has like a fucking David Beckham voice? You know, like high pitch.
Have you seen, I think it's the first Grown Ups where there's like that really hot.
What if that's Xaden's voice?
Oh my God, I'd die. I would die. Like, imagine, I think Fourth Wing did get signed to like become a show or a movie. I'm not sure.
It'll be Amazon. It's option frame.
I hope they cast that character right. Hi! Oh my God. What if they destroy his voice? It sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Hiya, pal.
I'm here to murder you.
Going for blood today, Violet?
The fact that he like warned her, don't trust a single person who faces you on this mat. He's giving a lesson just for her. Like, why would your enemy do that?
When
they're fated mates, even though that's not this series.
But they have weird matey tendencies.
Like the prickling, and
just like she always knows he's there, even before the prickling starts.
They're like, they are. I swear they're fated, but we don't know. We're just speculating. We have no idea. Like, I feel like eventually there has to be more for their connection, but like, we'll obviously find out later in the books, but there has to be more.
Yeah,
there has to.
Yeah, it's not just the bond between their dragons. It's something else.
There is like actual chemistry between them.
Yes, for sure.
So then Violet asks about the favor, and Xaden responds with, I'm the one who decides when to grant that favor, not you. Like,
it's so funny because if a real man talked to me that way, right? Because I gotta
slap him.
I'd be like, fuck off. But like this guy, I'm like, yes.
You can tell me to do anything.
Yeah, put me in my place. You're in charge. That's not me.
The only man that can humble me.
Yeah.
Definitely Xaden.
I would only be a submissive wife to Xaden.
The only one who can mansplain to me is Xaden.
Xaden. Not my rock collecting husband. No, Xaden.
Not my 3D printing Warhammer painting husband. Like, I'd murder Ryan if he talked to me the way Xaden talks to Violet. I would murder him.
Maybe he should start calling you Violence.
I'm shocked that he doesn't. I don't hit my husband or anything.
No. But if she does end up on Snaps, don't be surprised.
I do have a temper. Therapy really helped me keep that temper under control.
It's not as bad. Like 19-year-old Kylie had a real temper.
I just would fly off the handle at crazy things, and now I'm like, I take a moment and I think about it and I decompress it all. But I was very reactionary back then, and I'm not anymore.
Good for you.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I'm proud of you.
Oh my God. Thank God this is recorded. There's proof.
I take it back.
I am not leaving that out. That is staying in the episode.
You're a disappointment as a person and a friend. And oh, the part that I found the most relatable is she goes, she goes, you'd rather I die, no doubt, and be denied the pleasure of your company. Her response, I fucking hate you. And he says, that doesn't make you special. And for me personally, that's relatable. If you haven't noticed, Kylie has said, I hate you at least 10 times in the last 2 episodes to me.
More than that.
People hate me all the time.
I really am so glad that like writing the summaries, like that was such an important line for me to write. It's the most sexually charged sparring I've read so far. But his forearm rests against my throat, not cutting off the air, but definitely capable of it. And his hips have mine pinned. My legs useless on either side of his as he lies heavily between my thighs. He's unmovable. Everything around us fades as my world narrows to the arrogant glint in his gaze. He's all I can see, all I can feel. That is so sexually charged.
Like, girl, take a breath.
I guess I could have read that differently.
No,
too,
you read it the only way you're allowed to.
But there's so much sexual tension, and like her body is just deceiving her so much.
My breath catches and my body warms. The traitorous bitch. You're not attracted to toxic men. I remind myself, yet here I am getting all attracted. I have been since the first second I saw him, if I like being honest. I'm such a sucker for toxic men. So I understand, Violet. I really do.
The more toxic they are in these books, I swear, the more I like them. Like, you haven't read Haunting and Hunting Adeline, like, very toxic man, but I was like, damn, the things that he's doing to her, sure, stalk me.
Spoiler alert. But it's for me, I'm just kidding. It's not just in books. Like, there's something in me that I'm just like a toxic man that I want.
Rock, so toxic.
No, I know. I'm not talking about John. But I do want to be the one. I want to be the exception to the rule. I want to be the one that changes this toxic man. And if you're wondering, dear listener, that sounds like daddy issues. Keep those comments to your fucking self. Just, yeah. Yes. Uh-huh.
It's fine. You have daddy issues. I have mommy issues. Like, that's why we work so well.
Yeah, we're not two daddy issues coming together.
Yeah, no, then it would be too much. Too much.
Too much.
We're just trying to relate to listeners. Like, if you got issues, so do we.
You love toxic men? You want to be the exception to the rule? I feel you. Like, literally nothing. I look at my past a little bit. I pick the players.
So then he instructs Violet to get her dagger and stop going for moves that expose her and shows her where she should aim for. And he says, oh, Violence, you're good, but I've known better poison masters. The trick is not to make it quite so obvious. So shit, he did know that she was poisoning them. And then you have Dane, who's saying, that's enough. Like, little bitch Dane always wants her to just be less than she is.
I hate him.
He's like, Xaden says, he's holding you back. Don't worry, your little poisoning secret's safe with me. You're not going to disarm me. Nope, defenseless women have never been my type.
Apparently they're Danes.
Yeah. Because then Xaden's like, she could use a little less protection and a little more instruction. Xaden stares Dane down until he nods. This moment, I loved this moment. It was like when people clap in movie theaters. Like, it was like I felt like I should clap for Xaden because he just shit all over Dane.
Xaden loves putting Dane in his place. I mean, Xaden is a fucking wing leader, and he knows how much Dane wants approval, and just to be like, ugh, I just love it. I'm here for it.
So they wrap up the match, and later Dane is massaging Violet, which I know he has to touch her face, but if he's touching her body,
I don't know. I thought about this last night.
This keeps me up at night, like wondering like if he's massaging her, like really reading into her thoughts and her memories, like.
And also, like, we just watched Dane and Xaden on the mat, fully clothed, sparring, and it was so much sexual tension. Here Violet is naked from the waist up. I don't know. The waist up, and there's like zero sexual tension. But
It's like, you should have known, girlfriend. Like,
know.
you're not feeling any, like,
Nothing.
tingles.
No. Tingle.
Every time I say tingles, every time I say tingles, I think Peter Tingles from Spider-Man. When I, like, predict something happening, I'm like, it was my Peter Tingle. I don't have a Peter, just to clarify.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Dane was surprised that Xaden let Violet live, and he was like, I hardly think he'd. Oh no, Violet said, I hardly think he'd command respect by snapping my neck on the mat. Besides, that's not his way. Dane's hands pause on my skin because you know what his way is. Like, once again, I'm thinking, okay, so he heard that and he pauses. Is he like trying to read into that?
Yes, I think so.
Dane, you shifty, shifty man.
Boring, shifty man.
Can you imagine like your childhood crush just rubbing you down? Like when you were single.
Thanks for the clarification. No, like I would be acting differently than Violet. That's how you know, like she doesn't got a bad for you, Dane. She
Yeah, because she's not like, oops, here's my nipple.
Hey! That was super
It's like,
smart.
I would like, play the game, accidentally roll over or something, like do something seductive, but like this is nothing. He's just massaging her because that's what they've done.
And she's talking about the whole time.
Can you imagine? Your childhood crush is rubbing you down and you're talking about another man. That's a sign it's not meant to be.
See, Violet is so smart, but she is also slow to pick up on things at times.
She's book smart, sometimes not the smart, like street smart.
No. Mm-hmm.
And then again, Dana's like, Markham will still take Violet. Like, he's trying to move her to the scribe quadrant again. And now Violet's pissed that Dane still thinks that she can't do it. And I'm glad she got pissed finally. She proves that she's made it this far, 2 months in, and he plays it off like he can't lose her, but he friend zoned her and continues to friend zone her. And he asks her to think about it. And she says that she at least will, but like, girlfriend has worked so hard. She's not thinking about it. She's like, fuck this guy.
No, but like the doubts will creep in, which just pisses me off because it's like she even says, Dane knows me better than anyone. And if he still thinks I can't do this after I made it this far, it's like, no, don't listen to this motherfucker. He's an idiot.
Dane's just trying to stifle her. Like, fuck you, Dane.
Dane is intrusive thoughts. Everything he says is just dumb. Don't listen.
Dane, you are actually a moron.
And Dane is clearly so jealous of Xaden. And obviously, I think everyone else can witness the tension between Violet and Xaden, regardless if Violet acts like it's not happening. And he goes, I've been watching Vi. He's just toying with you like a cat plays with a mouse before the kill. And all I can think of is Sutton from Beverly Hills. Let the mouse go. Dane.
God, who would Dane be if he was a housewife?
Teddy. Someone boring.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? Kind of a square,
Yeah.
annoying.
Rule.
Yeah.
Or besides, affairs with other people's husbands. Allegedly.
More on that on the other podcast.
But do you think that Dane was jelly belly or is he just territorial?
I think it's a combination of both. Like, I think he's like, Violet's mine. She's my friend. I am protecting her. But then, like, he is jealous because, like, that's my friend. Like, I'm going to control her, not you. I don't think it was, like, pure love or anything. I think it was, like, a man having a control issue.
Yeah. I agree. Look at us agreeing.
Mark this day in history. We agreed on something. So they get their first view of the gauntlet, and for the first time, Violet is reconsidering Markham's offer. The gauntlet is the cliff that guards the Vale. All 9 of the squad have exactly 1 hour to get to the top. And if they can't make it, there's no alternative. And you will not go to presentation because, like, that's how you get up there. So, Blake, do you think you'd be able to complete the gauntlet?
Well, here's something you might not know about me, Kylie. Uh, at the age of 8, I went to Universal Studios Hollywood. They had a show on Nickelodeon called Global Guts. I was chosen to participate on Global Guts.
Did you? I've known you 20 years and we've never discussed this.
Well, hold on. It was the Universal Studios version. It wasn't.
Okay.
Otherwise, that would be in like my Instagram profile bio,
Like TV star, Global Gut.
It would be on my IMDb.
Former child star.
It would be on my IMDb, and that's that. But I think I could do it. But
I love that for you.
But when it came to the heights, I'd lose my shit. Watery bowels would happen. But I would finish. I always make sure I finish.
Good for you. I love that for you.
Thank
Be
you.
selfish. I hope everyone finishes. Ladies, finish first.
Yes. Ladies,
if we can give you any lesson, it's that.
Ladies may not start fights, but I can finish some. See, Marie from Aristocats told you this. Use it in all areas of life, okay?
Disney life lessons. I love it.
Well, Disney probably didn't have that thought when he created that movie, but you're welcome.
Walt did not realize that we would be quoting this for a book podcast in which we discuss a lot of smut.
But thank you, Uncle Walt. Appreciate it.
Thanks for not calling him Daddy Walt.
Would you complete the gauntlet? Do you think?
I would try.
You would break something.
Yeah, like jumping across. I mean, if it was pre-tearing my Achilles tendon and pre-tearing my ACL and meniscus, I think I would have a better shot. As a 35-year-old, absolutely not. But as a young, in my early 20s, like 19, I wasn't hiking then. So you know what? No, I would fail. I'd probably make it to like the second obstacle course and die.
Well, we had a little bit of an eating disorder and watched Biggest Loser. And we were working.
We did work out a lot.
We worked out a lot. So at 19, we could have done it.
Yeah, 19 for sure. 20, probably not. That's when I really started to drink more. And so I don't think I would be as successful then. But 19, probably.
Yeah. Especially post pizza binge.
Breakup.
Well, yeah. And post pizza binge, we have more energy and we could probably finish the gauntlet rather than.
Yeah, it would have to be on a Domino's delivery day.
Yeah, for sure. Life is life, guys.
We've lived so many lives.
So many lives. We're like cats. Apparently, I am a cat, a wounded one.
You're just the prettiest kitty. You really are. And I love cats. So really, I love you. Okay, so first off is Sawyer. He's like the leader, has to do it first because he's done it before. And he easily runs 15 feet across a single log, spinning parallel with the cliff face and then the raised pillars. But it takes him 3 rotations inside the wheel before he jumps through the lone opening. But other than that, there wasn't a single misstep on his first ascent. And it gives major Ninja Warrior vibes because the final obstacle is a massive ramp that reaches up to the top and it's nearly vertical climb, the warp wall. And once upon a time, Blakely and I worked at Comcast, and in the training, we watched a lot of Ninja Warrior because the person that was teaching us really loved the show. And so this whole gauntlet, all I can think of is that damn show.
So Tiny, little fucker that he is out there making shitty comments saying Violet is a liability and is fucking their wing leader. Because JB, the little asshole, just loves spreading rumors. Typical. And Vi at that moment was thinking Dane would make him have lunch duty and then immediately thinks Xaden would just beat the shit out of him. She blinks, shoving that comparison and any other thought of Xaden Morrison? Zach Morrison?
Worlds colliding.
Far out of my head. Can you relate with being into someone but trying to deny it? That's my question for you.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people that I've been into that I definitely tried to deny it. Not my husband, because I was like, he's got perfect teeth. I want to marry him. Oh, God. Here we are.
I knew it was different with Ryan. She could not get over his teeth.
Straight teeth, man. Dental systems.
You're very white, too. Good for you, Ryan. I don't think I ever have really tried to deny feelings for someone. Because I can't think of any that I tried to deny it, because back then I just used to be shifty, so even if I shouldn't be having feelings for somebody, I would just have them.
That's respectable. Like, I definitely tried to deny some. There's some people that I definitely should have continued to deny and not dated them, but here we are.
I mean, same.
So then, it's getting to be Violet's turn, and she's worried that she's too short for the ramp at the end, the warp wall. And she prays to the god of luck and is off. She makes it through the first several obstacles. She starts reciting facts about dragons as a way to calm herself down. She starts with feather tails and then progresses to green dragons, then orange. But like, it's interesting just because feather tails are the breed we know the least about. And she's reciting about it. So just once again, take a drink, foreshadowing. Once again, we learn a lot from Rebecca having Violet calm herself down with these facts. Like, they're useful to her. Obviously, they help calm her down, but they're useful to us because we're learning so much about these dragons that we're going to meet
Very soon. It's really good. I'm excited for dragon time.
I know, I can't wait to talk about dragons.
So I find it interesting that she says that feather tails reportedly abhor violence and are not suitable for bonding, because I don't know. The feather tail that we know, does she abhor violence?
I think she kind of encourages it.
Yeah, and she bonded with someone's nickname that is violence. So
I don't think that she knew her nickname just yet.
oh well, I do.
Maybe.
I don't actually think that. I was just saying that.
So Violet almost loses her momentum on the course, but manages to get her footing back. One of her squad mates, Orly, is right behind her having the time of her life. Like, she tells her how to get through the next part of the course, and Violet makes it across safely. But during Orly's turn, a green dagger tail flies above, jeopardizing Orly's go, and she slips down the mountain to her death. And, this is where we come back to what to do when the people die. Like, Violet is just shocked because, like, how can this be all that there is? We say their name once and then
Just move
go on as if they never existed.
I mean, that's kind of how our military is in real life. Like, you have to move on. Death happens, which I think Xaden gives a pep talk for that at the end of the chapter, now that I say that.
So Violet takes all of Orly's belongings to be burned. She feels like she has to because she was the last one to see her alive. Dane goes to comfort her, but she knows that she has to do this alone. And on her way back down from the burn pit, she enters the courtyard and notices that the door that leads to the tunnel to cross the ridgeline to the gauntlet is still open. And she kind of conceals herself in the shadows and sees Xaden, Garrick, and Bodhi, who's Xaden's cousin, that they were out. And Violet's scalp starts prickling, and Xaden stops 10 feet away. Xaden dismisses the others, and Violet says, I know you know I'm here. And Xaden immediately expects her to ask where he's been, but she does not give a fuck. And then, straight to the point, Violet asks if he's going to kill her or not. But Xaden hasn't decided yet. She wants to know what her chances are, and Xaden asks what chances, and gets firm daddy vibes when he says, do not make me ask 3 times. Xaden, I would never make you ask 3 times.
No. Tough ones. Like that.
And then Violet's honest with saying her chances living through all of this. So she was vulnerable in that moment. And then she says that she can't make it up the gauntlet. Xaden then teases her about running off to the scribe quadrant, and Violet is shocked that he knows about that. But Xaden just smiles and says he knows everything that goes on here. He is a shadow wielder after all. But then Xaden surprisingly encourages her in his own way, telling her to stop sulking in her self-pity, and realizes she has everything she needs to scale the gauntlet. He reminds her that the right way isn't the only way to figure it out. And we end the chapter with a kind fuck him. That's what Violet was thinking.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, I don't like it when men are right either. Like, it's frustrating.
I love that you're just like, am I affecting your schedule, Violence?
Like, the smirk on those lips. Ugh.
She wants to know if she's going to die. Like, God, do I have to keep putting forth this effort? Or are you going to just like 86 me? Like, what is the plan here?
Like, just, can we get to it? because it would make her life a lot easier, you know?
Yeah, he's like, killing you wouldn't be any trouble, Violence. It's leaving you alive that seems to cause the majority of the trouble.
Oh, I just also find it so fucking funny that Violet just cannot help herself around Xaden and just word vomits. Everything she's feeling, like, so vulnerable. She's telling her so-called enemy, I'm doing
Like,
like,
huge enemy, because
yes, he
her
wants
mom
to
killed
kill,
his dad.
like, and she still thinks that he wants to kill her. And she's just like, okay, well, this is what's wrong with me right now. Let me tell you everything, Xaden.
Here's all my problems. Here's my reasons to kill me.
And we have a new siphon count, though, Kylie. A new siphon count.
Oh,
And to my utter embarrassment, instead of pulling away now that I'm free, I lean into him just a little, like I can siphon off some of his strength.
what do you mean, Rebecca? What do you mean?
We need to know. We need to know. So
I
just,
feel like I would be a lot like Violet, and I would just verbal diarrhea everything because I do it anyway. And so, like, to my enemy, I would have been like, these are all things wrong with me.
I would not. John doesn't even know what I'm doing or thinking half the time. He's like, what?
You just don't share all your thoughts. Like, I'm feeling like this, and so this is how you need to handle me.
No, I don't do that.
Well, communication is something I worked on in therapy.
And being vulnerable. Good for you. I'm unhealed.
Well, I recommend therapy. It's great for everyone.
Thanks.
We also have Xaden saying, like, here's the thing, Sorrengail. Hope is fickle. It's hope is fickle, dangerous thing. It steals your focus and aims it toward the possibilities instead of keeping it where it belongs on the probabilities. I like this quote, like saying hope is fickle because it is. Um Honestly, it's a really good life quote. Like, you need to focus on what probably will happen, not what possibly can happen. Like,
Well, you
right-
could take it like in two different ways. You could take it as like having Delulu hope, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. It's a form of kind of manifesting of you believing in yourself and believing something. But there's also just hoping for something to happen and not like looking at like how to make it happen and like the probabilities and how to make sure it happens. So I get it. I'm on board with this quote, but I'm also the manifesting girly in me. I'm like, well, according to law of attraction,
Xaden is just a really thoughtful leader with very blunt, inspiring quotes.
he's a world leader with large thoughts, you know? He's so smart. That's it.
He's a world leader with large thoughts.
I don't know what that means. That's what,
It's provocative. So he says that, like, I can barely count the number of people in this quadrant who want you dead, either as revenge against your mother or because you're just really good at pissing people off, but you're still here defying the odds. Like, here we go, continuing this pep talk. Like,
Mhm.
Zane, you're so inspirational, like inspo daddy.
a little inspo daddy, and his vision boards are probably amazing.
Just in his room, his vision boards, okay?
I mean, that's what the childless cat dragons are doing. They're they got
They're working on their vision board.
the Veil Vision Board workshop party. You should go.
They are journaling every day.
But shadow wrap around me, and I swear I feel a caress along the side of my wounded cheek. It's been rather surprising to watch, actually, is how Xaden says. Her surviving. I want you to know, Xaden, that I already said that you can choke me. Your shadows can also caress my face and I won't get weird.
Yeah, you won't get weird because I highly doubt that.
Well, I mean, in the sense of I don't like when people touch my face, but it's a certain time when they can.
And here we have Xaden, who is like saying, like, you've made it this far, like, you piss people off, but you still keep going. Like, you haven't died yet. And then you have Dane, who's like, you need to get out of here. Like, there's no, he's not supportive in any way. And here's Xaden in his roundabout way being like really supportive, like keep going. Like
Yeah, he's a hype girl. You know, he's a hype girly, Xaden. I love
in
that.
his own way, and he's the best hype girly.
Yeah, because he's kind of pessimistic. So the fact that he's like believing in her makes you be like, okay, it's for realsies, you know?
God, it just makes me hate Dane even more. Like, this is your best friend, and you can't even be as supportive as like her arch nemesis. Like, fuck you, Dane. Fuck
Hmm.
you. And now we have his really inspiring quote people die.
Like I already said her.
And, you know, he says it's going to happen over and over again. It's the nature of what happens here. What makes you a writer is what you do after people die. You want to know why you're still alive? Because you're the scale I currently judge myself against every night. Every day I let you live, I get to convince myself that there's still a part of me that's a decent person. So if you want to quit, then please spare me the temptation and fucking quit. But if you want to do something, then do it. Inspo daddy.
I just love him. That's all I have to say. That's my only note. What I just wrote on. Like, I love him.
How would you handle being surrounded by so much death? Because, I mean, they die every day.
I'd be totally fine with it because I I can compartmentalize really well. Like I feel like that's my superpower in an unhealthy way.
That trauma from being
Yeah.
younger, you're really good at detaching.
Yeah. Really good at it. So I feel like I could be okay. Not to say if it's one of my like say re-dies, I wouldn't handle that well because my people, I really care about my people. But other peripheral people and they're just over here dying, not my problem, Bob. You know?
I would feel the same way. Like, I could probably disassociate and be fine,
Mhm.
but if it was somebody close to me, like Rhiannon or Riddick, I would be relieved.
No, I'd be disassociating. I'd be going over to Vale with the childless cat dragons and just reading and being like, another death. Might as well read some smut. You know? Like that's what I would do. I would be fine.
If you didn't get burned alive, they'd be like, "This bitch in the veil." Absolutely not.
No, dragons would like me. They totally would. We have the same energy, you know? Bitchy. Temperament. Judgy.
Yeah, they are really judgy because that's
Just
what the whole presentation is, like, dragons judging you.
like I go through life as a dragon. Like every day is presentation for me. I'm meeting mom friends. I'm like, not gonna cut it. Not. Not gonna do it. Hey guys, I just want to mention, I'm really not as big of an asshole as I make myself out to be.
I'm just kidding.
Is that a hairball, you childless cat lady with a child?
No, you're not so bad. I don't think I'd be friends with you this round if you were.
No, I just talk a big game. But once again, she has like word vomit with him. Like he says this pep talk and everything. She goes, "I'm too short to span the distance." I just think it's so funny. Like I would never tell you my weakness.
And of course, the right way isn't the only way. Figure it out. Like, that's his pep talk. I love it. Just figure it out. Figure your shit out, lady.
I know my note. Xaden challenges her and makes her use that big brain of hers. I dig it. See, deep thought.
I dig it.
Why did I write that? It was like 3 in the morning. I'm like, yes, I dig it.
Why do I write that Dane's such a dick on every note where he cuts up? Like,
It needs to be said. Well, and same with JB. We're like, JB's the fucking worst.
so that concludes like the first 10 chapters.
Just we're
I'm
1/4 of the way. May the
God,
fourth be with you. Well, that's a wrap. Check you later for the next one. You know?
thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having as much fun as we are.
If you like this, please make sure and share with your other book besties.